Welcome to Decide and Do with JW. This is the third video in a series of videos that I've uploaded to my YouTube channel. So if you didn't see the first two, go back, check those out, and then come back to this one. So in the very first video, we talked about the philosophy of decide and do. And in the last video, we really looked at decide and broke that one down a lot more. Now, in this video, we're going into the next portion of it, which is setting out a path. So first thing first, when you set out the path, you have your initial decision, and then you have the do portion, which is your end result and that goal that you want to accomplish. So before you can go ahead and get to that goal, after making the decision, you have to understand where are you at. So where are you? Where are you right now in life? If I decided on being a high school teacher, where am I right now? Did I just graduate high school? I didn't graduate high school on January 1st, and then on January 2nd, I'm now a high school teacher. That's not how it works. There's a path in between that we have to go ahead and map out so we can get from that initial decision to that end result. So we have to look at where we're at. Where are you? Where are you right now in life? Did you just graduate high school? Are you in college? Are you in another job that you've been in maybe 2 to 4 years, minimum wage? Are you making $100,000 a year? What are you doing right now? What kind of education do you have? What kind of knowledge do you have on teaching? All those different things you have to look at when you're talking about where are you at right now. Because until you figure out where you are, you can't map out the path to get to where you want to be. You already know where you want to be. We just talked about it. You want to become a high school teacher or whatever your goal is. So that's the end result, where you want to go ahead and be. So once you figure out where you are, then we can start mapping out how to get to where you want to be. When you map that out, ensure that you don't cut corners. If you cut corners, you might get to that end result, but what did you sacrifice in getting there? Or did you become a teacher, but you really aren't as smart as you think you are, and then all of a sudden your students see right through you? Did you cut corners and maybe cheat on a test, and that's something that you should have known? You have to think about all those things. So it's important to understand not cutting corners. At the end of the day, the quantity might be there, but the quality is not gonna. Now, once you realize that, the biggest part of this is understanding that this might take months, this might take years, this might take decades. When I graduated high school, I was 17 years old. I started out on a career path that I've wanted to do since I was a child. And I'm doing. However, I am still not where I want to be within this career path. I enjoy where I am now, but I'm not there. And like I talked about in the first and second video, I've been doing this for 15 years. So it didn't happen overnight. I didn't graduate high school and then get to where I am now in my career path. It has taken time. And my goal overall is still going to take me many more years after this. So understanding that helps you realize if it's, okay, I am a high school student and I just graduated high school and I want to become a teacher. Well, what goes into becoming a teacher? Because there's a lot of different things that go into it. When you look at that, you have to look at all of the details. Every little detail that goes into becoming a teacher. So, first thing first, let's say that we are just a high school graduate and we want to become a teacher. Well, first, what do you got to do? I need a college degree, all right? A bachelor's, master's, all right? If I want to work at a university, might need a doctorate. So those take their own time. Bachelor's degree, usually 4 years, all right? So let's look at the bachelor's degree. Let's say that's what we have to go ahead and accomplish. So I need to accomplish a bachelor's degree. It's not graduate high school, get a bachelor's degree, become a teacher. You have to go ahead and lay out all of the details to ensure that every little wicket within those is met. So take it step by step. Every single class within that bachelor's degree, laying out the path. If I understand that I need to go ahead and knock out general education for my bachelor's degree, I'm going to know, okay, well, I got to accomplish 2 English classes, a history class, a political science class, a regular science class, all of these different things. And I have to accomplish those within that own time frame. So understanding that and making sure that it's detailed as possible. When you're looking at that and making sure that it's as detailed as possible, you also need to understand within this path that life happens. And the one thing that we are not in control of, hands down, is the curveballs that life throws at us sometimes. And that might be anything and everything from you were trying to take a class and it's not offered at that time because the school's not offering it, to you failed the class and now you have to retake the class. So ensure that you understand that things are going to go ahead and be outside of your control, but that does not mean that you're not able to continuously look at it and accomplish it, all right, through that hard work and dedication of getting on it. Ensuring that you realize that that path is just the guide to getting from where you are to where you want to be. And that is there to help you every single step of the way. In the last video, we talked about decisions and how important they are and how they set up the foundation of it and how hard it is. And although the decision might be the hardest part, setting out this path has to be the most detailed part. You have to make sure that you cover every single thing. All right? But it's 2017. There's no excuses. This is the modern day where anything and everything is literally at the tip of your finger. Every single individual that I know walks around with a smartphone that is literally glued to their hand. They ask it questions before they ask their friends questions, their family questions. They ask their loved one question. So there's no excuse. And when I say there's no excuse, is the research that goes into ensuring that this plan is as detailed as possible. If I literally got on my computer right here and I Googled how to become a teacher, page after page after page after page would pop up. And I could look at every single one of those pages, right? And you need to do more research than just looking at one page, obviously. But if you look at all those, you're going to find common denominators in all of them. You're going to find certain things in there. You're going to find out certain things that are specific to if I want to become a teacher in California, if I want to become a teacher in Arizona, Texas, Colorado, New York, whatever it may be. If I want to become a teacher overseas, if I want to become a teacher in another country, whatever it is. It's 2017, so you have to understand that there's no excuse to it, and ensuring that the research is done, so therefore your path is as detailed as possible. Because if you go into it and you don't detail it, and you're like, I want to become a teacher, and you set out on something, and all of a sudden you don't get to where you're going because you didn't do the research, well, now you're going to have to start over. And that's time that was wasted. You wasted time on getting to your end result, getting to your goal, all right? And it's not human nature that got in your way. It's you that got in your way. It's not some outside, something that's outside of your control that got in your way. It's you. And if you're the individual that's getting in your way, this path is going to go from what you thought was this, all of a sudden to something that takes you numerous years, if not numerous decades, to accomplish. So, understanding that this portion, setting out a path, has to be beyond detailed, is the only way to get you from where you are to where you want to be. Understanding that the decision that you made might be the most difficult part of this, but realization is this, setting out a path, has to be the most detailed part. Because if you don't realize that, you're not going to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish in the way that you want to accomplish it. So that's where we're going to finish for today. Next video will be what I think is one of the best part is, and the hardest for individuals to understand, but never accepting failure. So come on back to the next video and we will talk about never accepting failure. Until then, thanks for watching.